Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is time for just a word from the Word. Our passage this morning comes from the book of Psalms, Psalm 61, verse 2. You may or may not be familiar with this. The psalmist writes in the King James, "From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I." Have you ever had an overwhelmed heart? Have you ever experienced a time when not bad things, good things? We can talk about bad things a lot, but what about the good things? They're wonderful things that are happening, but it feels rather overwhelming to you. Have you ever been there? Now, I know we've all been there when things have been difficult, when we have felt overwhelmed and overcome. But have you ever felt so overwhelmed by the good things? I know I'm going in an odd direction today. But have you ever felt so overwhelmed by the good things that it just reminds you how inadequate that you are? It's not just the bad times that should push us into the presence of the Lord. It's not just the bad times that should cause us to seek the face of God. The good things, the good overwhelming things, should also cause us to turn our hearts to the Lord. Now, the context of Psalm 61 does seem to be about difficulties, but I have experienced, and you have too, whether you want to admit it or not, when things have been so good that it's just overwhelming to you. This morning's just a word from the Word in the bad, but even in the good. When the circumstances are beyond you, because like I said, that can happen in the bad times for sure, but it can happen in the good times too. When your heart is overwhelmed, go to the rock, Christ Jesus, and realize that, I think we said it here recently, He is the one that takes up the slack. Yeah, I think we've talked about Colossians 2:10. He's the one that provides the adequacy for you. He's the one that gives the strength to handle the good things that are ahead of you. This morning's just a word from the Word. I pray that the good things in your life are so good, are so abundant, that you are overwhelmed by them. And that overwhelming place in your heart, I pray that it pushes you into the presence of the Lord. Take time today. I hope and I pray that there's nothing so overwhelmingly bad in your life. Pray that things are going well with you, that those good things push you into the presence of the Lord. I've shared this before, but it is not uncommon for me when I begin to thank the Lord for all of his blessings that I go beyond food and shelter and clothing and transportation and a job. And I am so grateful for all of those. But then I begin to thank the Lord for eyes, my physical eyes. I'm not even talking spiritual here, y'all. Physical eyes that can see. Oh, I need glasses or contacts to help, but I can see. Got a nose that can smell. have a mouth that can speak and sing and chew, eat, ears that can hear, hands and fingers and wrists and elbows and shoulders that work, and hips and knees and ankles and feet and toes that work. I have lungs and a heart and pancreas and a thyroid and a gallbladder and a spleen and a stomach and bladder and kidneys and all of that work. When you stop and think about that, that can really be overwhelming because our next breath is in the hand of the Lord. At any moment, it could be time to see Jesus face to face. So it's overwhelmingly blessed to know that He's kept us here. He's preparing us for a time with Him. Be so overwhelmed by the goodness of God that you are pushed and pressed into the presence of the Lord today. This has been just a word from the Word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.